What's up? I'm CJ Matthews, and this is the series about nothing. Whether you like it or not. I was sitting back and I was just thinking the other day about with all this social media, people can be so judgmental, and I see so many people throwing so much shade. I see so many people throwing so much shade. So many people just hating and just giving all of this negative feedback and negative energy and just being so judgmental, critiquing everybody with a fine-tooth comb about so many different things. Like, man, can you just let people live? It's like, man, and I was thinking, I'm so happy, I'm so thankful that God doesn't have to consult with these people before he decides to use me. I'm so happy that God doesn't have to get the opinion of man or the approval of man to use anybody that he wants to use. Because if he did, then so many of us would be in trouble. In fact, I think all of us would be in trouble. And I guess real quick, what came out of this thought that I was having was, you know what? I'm so thankful that God loves me, whether you like it or not. God loves me, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. God chose me, whether you like it or not. God called me, whether you like it or not. And I was reminded of this particular instance in the Bible where Jesus was actually in the middle of basically a full-on church service. And there was a mob of people that just basically rushed in and interrupted the whole service. So just imagine you at church one day and people just come in and they interrupt everything that's going on. And basically they come and they bring this woman who apparently caught in the middle of the act of adultery. So they bring this woman in the middle of church while everything's going on, completely interrupting everything, and say hey, Jesus, this woman was caught doing blah, 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 blah. This woman was caught doing X, Y, Z. What do you want to do? According to the law, according to the laws that were in place at the time, this woman could lawfully be stoned. So they were actually not just coming to bring this woman to Jesus, but they were actually literally really ready to kill this woman because lawfully, legally, they could do so. And a lot of times that's how we treat people. Well, you know what, God? This person is doing this, they're doing that, and doing that, and they're doing this, and everybody is on Facebook or whatever else just condemning, and beating up, and I'm over all of that. So Jesus answers in the way that only he can. And he says, you know what? Which among you is without sin? Which among you is without fault? The one out of this crowd that's without fault, the one out of this crowd that's without sin, go ahead and cast the first stone. Go ahead, matter of fact, here go a rock for you, here go a boulder for you. The one of y'all that ain't done nothing wrong, the one of y'all that's completely without sin, that is blameless, go ahead and throw the first stone. Next thing you know, everybody leaves. I heard this saying a while ago. I'm not sure where I heard it. Basically, I said people are very good judges of others while being very good lawyers of themselves. Meaning, when it comes to everybody else, they really quick to judge and want to pass judgment and sentence people or label people this. But when it comes to their own stuff, it's I did this, but it's because of this, and this. And really, you really don't know anybody's situation or the set of circumstances that led people to do anything, or whether or not the things that you're hearing that they did happen or not. That's really none of our business. And the thought a lot of times is, how could God use this person if they did that? Or how could God use that person if they doing this or they doing that? The answer is because he wanted to. Because he wants to. God doesn't use perfect people because there aren't any. Like there isn't only a specific type of person that God can use. God can use anybody that he wants to. And you know, a lot of times when it comes to God choosing people, God isn't going to choose the person that you would think. Like he isn't going to choose the one that makes the most sense. So like you ain't got to worry about if you don't got this, don't got that, or anything like that. Like I can think about David, the same David who defeated the giant Goliath, who would eventually become king. There was a man sent on an assignment to anoint the person who would be the next king. And there was a certain man that had a bunch of sons. And God told his representative that, you know, the next king or the person who I'm going to put on the throne is one of his sons. So the God brings out all of his sons, the big, strong guys, soldiers, all of this. He brings out all of his sons. He says, you know what? No, it ain't none of these guys. You ain't got no more sons. God said it's going to be one of your sons. And the guy's like, well, actually, you know what? I do have one more son, but you couldn't want him. Just a little guy out over there fleeting fly. He ain't nothing. He just a little, you know, a little dude. And it turns out that it was him, David. David was the one. His own father didn't even see the value in him. So, you know, so often, you know, we're worried about who doesn't see us and we're looking for validation in the wrong place. But no, God chose you, whether they like it or not, whether they can see it or not, or anything like that. Like God chose you. And if we can rest in the fact that he's the one that chose us, then we take away the power of people to affect us. Like, you know, it's like what they said, if the praises of people make us, then their criticism could break us. Something like that. But God chose you, whether they like it or not. God loves me, whether you like it or not. I really didn't even need to say anything else. Like that could have just been a one-line video. Like, you know what? God loves me, whether you like it or not. I might make that on a shirt. Like, God loves me, whether you like it or not. Let me know if you want to buy that one. God loves me, whether you like it or not. Thanks for watching the series about nothing. Go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. We got a ton of more content coming out. Share this message with a friend. Let them know that God loves them, no matter who likes it, no matter who approves of it.